unnerving. When crypto is swerving, your portfolio is veering down a deep black hole. But if you watch Road Dogg and you listen closely, he will help you gain control. Well, if you think this channel is groovy and you'd like to show your support, well, there are a few things that you can do. Find that like button, give it just a playful little smack, and subscribe and join the channel. And let's hit the like button now. Let's hit the like button now. It's just down and to your left. And you tap with your right. Look over to the side. Where you can join and subscribe. It's Crypto IRA. The really drives you out. Let's hit the like button now. Let's hit the like button now.
Dreams, spinning wheels in fast machines, digital gold in pixel streams.
Gotta have a little
Rise and
countdown.
fall like cryptic memes. Eyes glued to the endless charts. Ticker tape and rising hearts. Every coin a work of art, bound to break or fall apart. Number, go up, up, up. Hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop. Chasing dreams with no flop. Number, go up, up, up. Hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop. Chasing dreams with no flop. Fortunes flash in midnight trades. Screen lights up in neon shades. Risk and thrill as courage fades. Lightning gains in crypto raids. Hear the clicks, the cash advance. Every move a daring dance. Fortune favors those who chance. Come my friends, join the trance. Number, go up, up, up. Hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop. Chasing dreams with no flop. Number, go up, up, up. Hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop. Chasing dreams with no flop.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this thing on?
Here, give it to me. I know how to do this.
I can't do quite. Good man.
No, let me tell you, I can do it. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see this little button right here? Hey, I know something about buttons, buddy. Look, right here. See?
I roll the dice. Crypto fever's my vice. Ooh, I crave your heat, not blockchain's tease.
Gotta press it just here again, and then they can hear you talking. See what I'm saying?
Sugar and sats, don't cut me, please.
It's like this to everyone. I can't stop it.
Fires in my
Thank you, sir.
game ignite. Groove shakes me day and night.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the turkey.
Through the candle glow, I
I can't believe he pays him to say that. That's all he does. He can just record it and record it. I never thought about doing that. But no, we got to drag his little English ass in here every night and Monday so he can say welcome to the show. That was a little bit racist. No? You not like brown people love song? You know what I mean. Well, I'm taking that a little bit personal. I mean,
shakes me day and night. Sugar and sass.
Someone forgot to pay the lobby.
Lost my match, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here come the turkey.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Welcome to Late Night Crypto with Red Dog. The only place you can find a turkey that is giving you crypto analysis. Trying to find the hot new plays out here that can benefit us all in this crazy little market. And the market has awoken. Clearly, we saw that today. Our wildest dreams were coming true. That was so awesome. So we did. Let us go over what has previously happened since we last talked. Last night when we were looking at this guy, and I believe it was right around this time, we were in this territory and we made that little higher low. Baby. There's so many different ways to look at this, and I think this is a very educational little idea for you pattern traders out there, or you want to be pattern traders, things to look for. Of course, what I'm going to tell you is always follow the trend line. That's just going to guide you. That's what it's there for, is to guide you and help you make smarter decisions. That little trend line can be your friend. This, several different ways to look at this. Some people say, well, that looks like a bump and run, except for it's not a skillet, it's got a W in it. What? How? Okay. I can probably see, I can probably see Benjamin Franklin's grandmother in there if I look hard enough. But if you just connect the dots, 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other, at least those qualifications, the minimum qualifications that you have to have a valid pattern, you got this megaphone, and if you they're pretty regular because price travels in channels, and it's kind of part of a bigger channel idea. But anyway, the break in that trend line is a good little place to get in. And then you got the people that will see this W pattern, and I'll play the W, and they will get in after there. Do you see how this kind of works? There's like all different ways. There's people that look at the second low. Oh, I'm going to jump in. There are so many places you can jump in over the 9 moving average. So many places that you can get in. I'm just breaking out. I'm going to buy the top. A lot of people did that, but it got lucky this time because it actually went higher. That was one little thing to look. That was a nice hint that we were doing something right. That was one thing that we mentioned also, man. Just a little higher. Give us some hope that we're trying to turn around. And we got that. The moving averages here on the smaller time frames, especially the smaller time frames, we're showing that we're trying to do the flippening. We had those little signs. Lots of other little places that could have gotten ends at here at 76, 400 on the retest of that. We even looked at it here. There's a retest of this line. I think this might have been the night before. I might get my nights mixed up, because it seems like maybe we're here, maybe I was watching it. I don't know. Was this last night? Yeah, I think this was last night. Anyway, she came back and did a perfect retest of the breakout area, like they often do. About the percentage of the chance you have to break up, which is about 72% for this particular pattern. Opening, broadening wedge, or broadening pattern. Bullish megaphone is what I commonly call it. A lot of other people do too. Coming back to retest this little area there, and you could have got back in or added to your bags there at 76,300. Lots of different opportunities to jump in, no matter how you did it. Even if you were going to be a flag chaser, you would have, probably been wrong right here. But eventually, and whatever. Lots of ideas, and I think that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about. When you do break out of the pattern, it seems, oh no, I missed it. But man, look at that retest here. That was awesome. So it gave you a second chance. It gave you a second chance. And then I guess we have to come down a little smaller time frame. And we got this little, let me just go with the full screen here. We got this weird double-headed stepchild of an inverted pattern here, standing on his head tops, if you can see him. Oh, I know. We need. And then we flip him. Oh, is it Alt-I? Flip him up, flip him right side up. You can see his little googly eyes right there. And so head and shoulders on the bottom. It's a bottom reversal pattern. Some people see them everywhere for everything. This one is kind of weird because you normally don't have a split head, but hey, man, there's some kinky people out there. I'm just saying. You know. Anyway, the neckline was confirmed there. That was kind of cool. That was a nice little thing to look for. So lots of nice things, and then they did it, right? They let's go to 3 minute. Make sure my microphone's on. I'll say hello to everybody very shortly here, but we were kind of following. It was more in a bigger time frame where it made a little bit more sense. We still got bigger. Where'd everything go? There it is. So a trend line that we could take it all the way over here, and there's different ways that you can do this, but following where we can get the most touches, and it has a nice angle with it. We go from the top of the wick. Sometimes I will do that for the steeper angles. Every touch that you got matters. Don't get it twisted. It's got something. But some of them are a little bit more favorable than others. And the angle of that matches up really nice. But anyway, whoops, did I move it again? Anyway, we got to break out of that too. So that was cool. And then again, playing the same thing. We have the little smaller W pattern down here. Well, it was part of a bigger one. And there we go. And then what would you expect now? Well, we should be getting a retest. Now, not only, I was playing this for fib levels. And so these little guys over here, if I can go to, are you the same fib that I had? No, you're a recent fib. You're a recent fib.
Dance with me, ay, ay.
So let me see if I can get some of these little guys off of here. I think I was just looking at that recently. Trying to find me I think I erased the actual. Man, that's closer. Okay, we'll go with. What about that? The thing's talking to me. Hey, Haven Pack says BMT, please. Thank you, Haven. Got a super chat there. Thank you so much for that. I'll put that up to the BMT. Put that on my list right there. All right, so when we zoom the F out, let's get rid of the fibs. And we're in this bigger megaphone pattern. We were just looking at one on the smaller time. We saw how it played out, right? We got the same thing happening here. Eventually what we want to see is to get a breakout and come back and do the same thing. We'll come up and then we'll come back and more than likely retest. That's what I'm also looking for us to do on the small time frames that we have right now. However you want to look at this as double bottoms, that you want to look at it as from where we're here. I'm leaning more for this way for the steeper retest. We're going to come back and touch one of these guys, and in my personal opinion, we're going to do somewhere around, what the hell is that? Somebody hit the wrong buttons. That seems to happen around here. These are the areas that I was playing. And I was looking for the 1382 area, and I think I actually took it from over here. That wouldn't make sense. It was this one, yeah. These were and it actually went just a wee bit higher, and that was cool. I'm currently in a short, and I gotta say, it's hard to short the tops, and it takes a lot of conviction to short the top. And the only reason I got conviction is because we are at some areas of resistance here. We still have not made a higher high yet, which is a little concerning. So I'm expecting one of two things: either we come back down a little bit. I was looking actually somewhere around this area, about 79.5, 78.5, right through here. We'll have to pull a different fib, but that would be the retest of our breakout area here, and that's what I think is coming. I've got a short open now. I had a long that went up, did very well, and I've still got some open because I've got an entry down here in the 70, low 70s there. But it was hard getting in a short up here around 83. I think my average entry is somewhere around here now. I kept getting stopped out. And I stopped out for small amounts, but, you know, it's just hard to have that conviction at that time. And that's why I have a problem shorting. I guess it's why some people have a problem longing. I don't seem to have much of a problem putting a long in, but when it comes to short, it really tries my until it gets going, because we're in a bull market. And now if we were in a bear market and hit those levels, we would drop real quickly. Okay. So this is actually really bullish that we're even hanging on up here a lot, just to put it out there. This is a good sign what we got, but it's not what we need just yet. But the markets will be tricky, and there's going to be a lot of in and outs with all this tariff news and scaring everybody. There is still a good chance that we can come back to lower areas, but right now, since we got a double bottom, if we come back and confirm that, test this as support, can come even a little bit lower. It might even come down here. It's got possibilities to make it still valid as long as it's a higher low than what we got. This would be strong if we just come down to around 80,000, somewhere through there, get a bounce off of that, and then we can go take out some of these, preferably over here, about 85. At least get another high out of the way before we, you know, maybe come back down. And then, of course, we got the major trend line that we've yet to break. So we got a lot ahead of us. And, you know, give it a little bit of time there, but it's been it was nice to see that the markets went up, and we finally stopped the bleeding down here, because it gets a little tricky when you're down there about 75,000 and stuff with the altcoins, the way the altcoins have been. But look at altcoins now. Look how much they've come up on average, about 10%, 9-10% today. These guys are running. And if we take a look at our indices over here, we see we're bounced off a total 3. That's nice. We still got resistance ahead, so let's don't get too crazy. Bitcoin dominance is getting rejected. That's what we would hope for. The other alternative for it was for it to go parabolic to the upside, which would kill altcoins. But now we got a little chance for some altcoin relief. The only problem is, here's the thing. Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up a little bit. Bitcoin comes down, altcoins come down a lot. The ratchet is not even at the present time. It's crazy. So Bitcoin go up, altcoin come up with it. Bitcoin go down, altcoins sink. Bitcoin comes up, altcoins come up just a little bit. Bitcoin goes down, altcoins sink. And they just keep going lower and lower, or just hanging around. They're not, because Bitcoin is outperforming them. That's what the Bitcoin dominance does. That means that Bitcoin is coming out the big guy. It is trumping everything. But we looked at, Standard & Poor's yesterday to see the big scare was how the market was going to react. And we were already seeing upness from Bitcoin. We just didn't know if we needed to trust it with the craziness that might be coming out, especially with the wild tariff things that were coming out with China. But I said, man, you're at the area 618. That has a likelihood to hold, even though it's breaking trend like a wick down there. And that's what we did. We bounced off of it. That's it's respecting the trend line, respecting the 618. That's a good sign. These are some good signs. The only thing I want to get to before I get to BMT, I'm getting into that, but I think we need to take a look at a few things. Oh man, I got it over here. I just hit the button. We got the VIX. Let's zoom out at the VIX here. This was the one. When this thing goes above 30, I mean, that's when you need to acquire assets. That's why I got this little note over here. Acquire assets when above 30, because it doesn't happen a lot. It happened back here in August 2024 when the market dumped, the Japanese unwind, and the first time that we saw our portfolios just dwindle. And then it happened here where we saw our portfolios dwindle, but look, she's coming back down. I hope that's good, but if I were seeing this anywhere else, I would expect a bounce and for us to carry back on up. So, I'm not convinced that the VIX is that she's ready to just totally give it up just yet. Here on the daily, that looks bullish AF to me for VIX. Now I don't remember a time where we were sustained up here too much. Snapdragon. What's this? Oh, this is 2020 and during the pandemic. and we okay, so we did this little number. We keep going up and dipping. We kept dipping up through there, huh? June 2020, September 2020. So, and that's when the markets would tumble, then they come back and tumble and come back. Volatility is what we're looking at here at the VIX. That's what it represents. Okay, maybe we come back down and we come back up again. I'm sure 90-day tariffs, there'll be somebody that pisses Trump off, and you know, they'll get a nice big badass tariff, and then we'll just I don't know, man. Let's get ready for some volatility is what I got to say. And you can see today, if you were long, get your friend, and hopefully now if you're shorting, it might be your buddy too. We're getting some support here at the 200 moving average. Supposed to be moving right back up, making them prices dump. At least come back up for, we got an M pattern here, so that's cool. Now if VIX can come up just a wee little bit, help our shorts out, and then we come down, and I don't, why would you lose the 200 though? You got a really good chance to come back even up to here. I see no reason for you just to keep dropping just yet, just because you broke this level. So looks like over the next day, well, no, this is the 36 minute. I'm very curious about this now. Maybe she's got enough momentum to drive her down. I don't know. I would normally expect a little bounce off of this short term. That would mean, well, prices start dropping again. Let me come back just one more time to Bitcoin here on the small time frame. And if you're a pattern trader out there, you might recognize this. You might interpret it as a complex head and shoulder. It's definitely not textbook. Some people might be looking at it as, I would not call it an M. I would consider it maybe a triple top. But whatever, we do have a possible topping pattern here. Breaking the trend line would probably send us a little lower, maybe not too much lower. We may be starting to range out here. It may take it a while to get back down to the areas. That's what makes shorting such a pain in the ass. But it is improving now, so at least we got that. But it could easily give it back up. She said, well, screw you, I'm going to flag to the upside, or continue making another, you know, could come up and make another top before it drops down. There's a lot of things. Or maybe, who knows? I mean, it's not in the shape to do it now, but it might give, you know, it could transform into something that could lean to more upside and knock out one of these guys. We've got a wild time going on right now. So far, I'm short, and I think some of you guys are short too. Let me go ahead and get the BMT here. BMT, I'm not sure what this is, but let's see what it is. BMT USDT on Bybit spot. Why does this thing never keep my watermark? There we go. Sometimes I like the watermark, sometimes I don't, but you at least see what it is. I don't know what BMT is. I'm on the 6 minute. Let me zoom out to. This is a 1 hour. 4 hour. So nice runoff and then the sell off. And if it's a project with a community or a purpose or something, you know, it may take off from here, but it may take it a while. And that's the thing about buying down here. Kind of like shorting the top. It takes a lot of patience when you're trying to do these little guys down here. But eventually, you know, they usually catch and you do good. And she's at a double bottom area right now. Let me see if I can mark that. Not quite at the bottom there. And right there. Let me change the color of those so I don't misinterpret those. So this bottom area over here is the resistance that we're facing at the moment. And I could pull a fib and technically work with them successfully from any of these tops to the bottom. Some will work better than others, but there would be something there. This might be an interesting little one, but if we just do it by the rule, go by the rules from swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. Just an easy way to remember it. I get this line. Trying to figure out if I agree. We get a fair match. We may not. Well, You did touch that, right? You did not touch the bottom. Oh, let me just reverse you. Go back up there where you were. Just trying to pull it down here. Does it respect the lines better? It does. You may not be at the bottom, darling. She might still go down to 0.0675 to touch the bottom here. It might happen. Not saying that it will, but I read fibs that way too. And if I tune it in, it kind of suggests a lower bottom. So we don't know if we got a bottom in yet. Possibly. It's not really confirmed anything. But we can take the information that we got here. I'm on the 2-hour time frame. That's cool. It was cool over here too, but we didn't go through it. So, you know, how cool is it now? But so far it's cool. This one is at 8 cents. I'm gonna have to find out what this is because I don't know. We're getting rejected off the 382. And that's cool. We were above the 236, so we got some progress made. And she may be trying to make a bottom pattern. One of the possible bottom patterns that when you get kind of level areas there is, you know, that inverted head and shoulders. That could be happening. That happens a lot when you're coming out of a channel, which is kind of what you're in right now. We spell that out. You draw a few lines right there. And take it to the first candle, lowest candle body I can see. I see that one there. We got a touch there. So we got 2 touches on this side, 3 on the other. There's our valid channel. And a lot of times these do, and you might see come down, it could even come down and do a double bottom there. A lot of different things to look for there. But that's cool. We're above the 9-moving average. I like it when we come down smaller time frames. If I quit drawing lines and start drawing. Oh, stop it. I forgot to turn my bigger moving averages on. These bigger moving averages have helped me. That's how I knew to short today. The short at the top, and I know probably other people were calling flags to, you know, up. I don't know what anybody was calling. I wouldn't watch them. But I know what I usually see when we get in those areas. There's always somebody calling a flag to the upside at resistance. But these moving averages on Bitcoin, were very helpful. They're still negative, but we're at a time where we're going to be trying to do something. So I see a little bit up and down. At a possible resistance area, I think my line changed since I changed time frames here. And if I go to wick there, we still got a little bit of doing. But ultimately, can't bitch about it. So could she jump down to about 0.78 cents? I mean, we're talking about fractions of a penny. There's between 7 and 8 cents. And then she should be ready to try to do something hopefully soon here. Because it looks like total 3. Looks like the altcoins over here are ready to dance a little bit. And I think that's the important measure, one of the important measures to do when you're tracking altcoins. And it can kind of help you navigate the whole market. And what it's telling me here on the small ass time frame, we're on the 15-minute for altcoins. Oh my gosh, in general. Same thing we're seeing on Bitcoin, basically. And the smaller time frames here, you see how these bigger moving averages, 800, 600, 300. We got the smaller one, or these are normally the big ones I'm looking at. What the hell are you saying, Elliot? Elliot, are you on crack? That don't even look right, man. I don't. Elliot's been smoking crack. Anyway, Elliot thinks we're getting ready to rocket to the moon and altcoins tonight. I hope you're right, Elliot, but damn, I still think you're on crack. Moving averages say different, Elliot. So does the cloud. I have to set Elliot straight a lot. He gets kind of wild. Elliot, for you guys that don't know, Elliot wave theory is it's got some basic simple rules that you can kind of make as cliff notes, which was what I do, and then I'll use the little indicator there. The second my opinion, and it's very subjective. And I find that if you get into Elliott wave frame of mind and that style of trading, you spend more time looking at the possibilities and arguing back and forth before coming to a decision. And it seems like it's a lot more theory than actual practice. Let me put it that way, because, well, you could have this and you have the waves up through here, and I got to make sure that with this cast, and it just gets, and then sometimes there's like explanations for things that don't really fit, and they kind of have to bend the things to it. Like, if it's this type of wave, and I'm like, well, how many different types of waves do you got? You mean, in other words, your regular thing doesn't work, so now we got to kind of squish them a little bit and bend the rules to make, and it's not the people doing it, it's actually, I think, the thing. Anyway, it's not my cup of tea, but I just like to throw that out there. I'm more of I started out pattern trading, and actually I started out trend line, because before I joined the group and started learning about pattern trading, and I wanted to spend time just me and a trend line, because that's about all I knew, and a few little handful of patterns, and try to figure it out myself. I did learn a lot by that, but then I got started in a group, and then eventually through a group and just other YouTubers, even Crypto Savvy, which I still think is a secret bear right now, enjoying the hell out of this short, turned me on to the books of Bukowski, which thepatternSite.com is his free site for Bukowski. Wealth of knowledge right there for free. Teach you about patterns and how to trade, and even Elliott Wave if you want to learn that, but I'd recommend not jumping down that rabbit hole. It's kind of, the fibs are a much funner way to go. The fibs are mystical and enlightening. They'll make you think about life and purpose, and they just the wonders of the Fibonacci. Now I got this old messy chart I'm looking at here for total 3. Total 3 looks like she needs to come down for a break, just like Bitcoin's what we're trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen. So not the time to be chasing altcoins, because, well, they're coming down, but the time to be looking at the ones that you want to get when they do come down. Maybe, because we are making a series of higher highs and higher lows, and we've at least got a short-term play to work with. We got a lot of stuff to work out here. But this should be a good trading season with all the volatility going out, and I'm just getting kind of itchy for it. So if we can get our heads on straight and get on the right side of trades, I think we can sop up some of the losses that we've had over the last little bit. I don't think this is really the time for the diamond holders, because some of these altcoins might go cheaper. We will have to keep up with total 3 on that. But right now until we get to that orange line, we got a little uppiness. That orange line is very significant, and I consider us very bearish on altcoins if we're below it. And once we recover that, it looks like we're trying to, that's 782 billion. And once we get past that area, and especially on up here, we should be in the clear. But a lot of things could happen over these next few weeks here with altcoins. We could be coming right back down. We could do a lot of little things down here in range. I don't know what we could do, but it involves altcoins going up a little bit, altcoins coming down a lot more, altcoins going up, down, a volatility. And if we play it right, if we can find the right setups and everything, this could be awesome. So let's try to do what we can do. Maybe even no star market. Let me come over and say hello to everybody. I've just been blabbing for 30 minutes. I am so sorry. Well, some of that was intro time. As soon as I find you guys, where are you guys at? Your microphone is off. Oh no. That could happen. Man, my chat rate is 0. You guys are... What's happening? We have to do a poll or something? I need to start doing that more. We got Kelly Fan. How's it going, Kelly? Joe from Trade Intuition, number 2 on the line. Joe, fellow YouTuber, go check him out. This is his music channel. You put up a lot more. Oh, he's published some more songs here. How many? 14 songs over here. Sweet. Golden Pocket. Chasing what? Chasing the pump. Risk management. That ought to be a good song. But go check him out, Joe at Trade Intuition, and also his music channel, Trade Intuition Topic. Is there a possibility maybe we can get another subscriber over there tonight? We're just 9 right there. 9's a good number, don't get me wrong. That's a mystical, magical number, always interested. So, can we make it 10? Can we put it an ace in the hole for you tarot cards out there? Can we? Make it a 1. Put it to 10. I'll give you some time to think about it. But we won't sit here and watch paint dry or anything. But that would be cool. Maybe I can refresh it because somebody went over there and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna." You know what I should do? I should probably just copy this link. We'll copy that and then we'll put it into the chat once I find the chat, and then. Whoo, Why is this not? The older I get, the less this stuff works. When I was younger, I was a whippersnapper. I was a whippersnacker on all this. Kelly Fan says, "Where's Dr. Turkey?" The Dusty Hunt. Hey, welcome to stream, man. Number 4, and I was born in Turkey. Turkey seems like a cool place. That's not far. That's around Göbekli Tepe, right? I think there's a lot of history over there in that region. I'm fascinated by it. We got Brackets Adventure, Haven Peck. Shout out to you guys. Stroke Short Soul. What? There's some, I can believe that. Okay, I might have to. There's some sort of thing where there can be like giant humans, like hormones. It can happen in turkeys too. I'm holding my light to make sure he performs. Oh, this is going way back. I'm going way back here. The Dusty Hunt, more PC guy. How's it going, people? There's Joe. There's our, I thought I already hit that. Our BMT request there. Thank you again, Haven, for the super chat. And we got Rogue Glide. We're getting a lot of deleted messages here. What's up with that? Are they... I don't know what's going on. I can't. What is going on? Boomer at the controls over here. Okay, hit that. Does that? Sorry. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Mel's Williams, what's up, my people? Any chance that we can get to 85,000 soon? I hear there were a bunch of orders sitting at that level. Let us take a look. That's a question I like to look at. I personally don't see it happening anytime too soon. I see us coming back for a retest. My bigger moving averages are suggesting that we come back and talk to them. Taking them even off the board there. 100 crossing the 200. A lot of times when that happens, we drop. It does the opposite. It's bullish signal. It's good. We got a flippening of the bands going on, smaller ones. But when that happens, about 2 out of 3 times I've found. Don't quote me on that. I'm always like 68%. But usually that's what I see happens about 2 out of 3 times. When that happens, that you can get a retest sometimes all the way back to that 100 moving average, which is at the areas that we were looking at. That's about 79,000. From there, we can get a bounce, and we might be working on that 85. But that's what I got to see. We'll more than likely see something like that happen first, and then come back up here, probably break above it, knock out probably a fib, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can just guesstimate. Depending on where we bounce from, but we could probably come up at, where did you say, about 85? 85 is on the table. Right around 86, actually. Depending on where we bounce. So I don't know if it will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow looked like it might be a little suspect, or overnight at least might be a little suspect. What is today? Today was... oh my God, you don't even know what today is. I don't even know what today is. Today is Wednesday. That should be interesting. Okay, so they will still set us up for the weekend. And I'm sure that they are just I'm willing to bet that they do something bullish for the weekend to get all the retail, because retail is coming back into the TradFi, coming back into mine stocks, nothing on Robinhood and all that stuff, right? That's the word anyway. So in my personal opinion, your composite man or your market makers or whatever, how do you want to look at the opposition that we're trading against? There's lots of different schools of thoughts out there. I like the market makers ideas because I know they have software and I kind of know how it works because it's a bot thing that I used to play with. I used to try to want to get a market maker software because they pissed me off. I'd put an order in and they always had to one-up me. And there was a time when you put an order in, it would stay there, but then I didn't understand what market makers were or did. But I just always see there's some asshole out here who keeps outbidding me, and I just want a little bit. Oh, here's my chance. I can probably get it, and you can probably come down and get my order. And nope, filled them. As soon as, no matter what I put in, there was always this like little spiders. One would go there, and then another one jump on top of them. And I found that on low liquidity things, you could manipulate those little suckers. Yeah, you get them playing against each other, and you drive up price. And I made 10 Bitcoin doing that one time before I learned how to do all this stuff. And I don't have a nary one of them Bitcoin now. And that was a dumb thing. Woo, I'd be sitting pretty. I'm still trying to get back those 10 Bitcoin. That's my only goal, to get back the 10 Bitcoin that I lost back in 2013. Oh my God, it's so hard to do now. That was kind of a hard thing to do too. It's kind of, I thought I figured out the market then. Like, oh no, and then it just slowly disappeared. It's the same story. I'm sure a lot of you guys got. How did we get stopped on this? Looking at, I get a squirrel. 28 people join me. Thank you for being here. Little Marshmallow. How's it going, Bobby Eyes? I see you there, listening intently and taking out the trash. Any chance? Oh, you were 85,000. That was what we were talking about. So yeah, I do see that. Now there is this idea here with this trend line that maybe we'll find support very soon at 81. This big cloud and the formation we got there make me think that maybe we'll lose that little guy. And a lot of times we do come back into those patterns or channels, but that's one. And if we do, just going by trend lines and patterns, that also brings us back to this previous trend line area we had here. About 78.8, 79,000. Right there in that area is what I've got my eye on that we could more than likely go to. That's also retesting the 200 moving average. Since we just now got above it, on the smaller time frames, you can be pretty sure we're going to make sure that it's solid. At some point, we're going to come back and retest it. So as I know there's going to be a lot of people out there expecting this to be some flag, right? To the upside. And it was this, and now it's this, and then it's this, and then it's, it's whatever, with some crazy move. And I've seen them. Now, if you were going to do that, if you were going to do it, you would want to take the impulse move, the flagpole, and you would apply that at the breakout, which we do not have. And you would want to adjust that at that breakout when you do find it, so that you could have a more accurate measured move. And you wouldn't, the angle of this does not matter. I've heard that excuse thrown out here on to twist it or whatever, but you would take that idea and you would have an idea. That's a possibility if things go your way. I see that, but what I see sometimes is I see some crazy ones. Like going all the way back here, I've seen some wild stuff out there. And not only that, but there's always this. I hear the reason you got to get an angle right, but there's no reason for that. That's not what you're doing. You're getting your measured move right for a target. And I'm saying when you do it the way you're supposed to, by the rules, follow the guidelines and the rules, you get pretty good results. And I hope that my channel kind of shows that. Now, fibs, I think, are awesome. I think fibs are they're in a league of their own, but the measured moves can be very, very quite accurate. Sometimes right to it, the spot on, but always just right there in that little zone if you take care with them. So I'm not an anti-measured move person whatsoever. I mean, if you're playing that idea at the breakout, I mean, yeah, she got up a little higher, and these aren't the best ones. I'll tell you, the channels, they are not. Sometimes they don't. You can sometimes do better. but they still they got you where if you took profit, you was good, right? Somehow I start getting back on this stuff. The other idea, Bitcoin bouncing off this area. So you got two arguments. We got two areas, somewhere around 80, 81. But I'm really leaning just because of the bigger moving averages. Remember we got those. You gotta get something that talks to you, people. These moving averages talk to me. They whisper things in my ear, and it's a lot nicer than what Sean whispers in my ear because he's a dick. As long as they're bearishly flipped, we got a chance of ranging through here. We got to flip them the other side, and the only thing that's going to do that is, ranging through here, letting these other guys catch up with them, and then bouncing off. And that's how our moving average strategy is. I got 8 of them now. I started with 5, but I've added 3 more, and I know it looks a mess, but it keeps me on track. They have helped me navigate so many jams that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Like here on the bigger time frames, man. Those bigger moving averages they're in reverse order here. They got work to do before we get bullish and really start rocking. And we're not ready to rocket ship up just yet. But we can get a nice move. I'm not saying we can't, I hope we can finally get about 88,000 just to get out of this guy. But so far we're on the right track, but we don't have confirmation. Other than we have no confirmation. We have no higher highs other than over here when we zoom out on the 1 hour. Smaller times, we got something to work out for short term. But we still got our work to do. So yeah, if we get an 85, that might be why you're asking about 85. That would be helpful, but somewhere around 88, 89, that would be awesome. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Tomorrow should be a pretty depending on how they do this retest, it can be kind of good. I think Friday they may run us up and leave us hanging, and they'll probably give us a little breakout or something right above these areas. Maybe they'll leave us hanging around 83, 84. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing from what they usually do. If I had to, let's go pull our fibs over here. The 618. Our next fib level up here is 85. Yeah, 85.5. I'm curious. I wonder, do you guys think that they will run us up there by Friday, Saturday or something? Maybe they take us there over the weekend and they get everybody chasing and then they come back or higher. They will be playing some kind of games on retail on the weekends, what I'm saying. So it's best to get in a position, in my personal opinion, if we do get this retest. And then, whether you're playing Bitcoin or maybe some altcoins, because altcoins look like they want to play ball right now. Altcoins look like they're going to follow Bitcoin right now, and that, we can get a nice little boost and take a little profit. But they still got a lot of work to do, too. I've got some we want to take a look at. Some of the bigger movers today is Fartcoin. Go figure. I've got some of this. I wish I had more. I wish I'd bought more when it was down there. I thought about it. I think I made a note to do it at one point when I saw the charts, and I never did, so I didn't get to reap much of the rewards. I think I got some when we were down through here somewhere, but it wasn't much. It's more now than what it was. And I'm thinking, buying down here anywhere below 80 cents when we zoom out is what I call the discount area. This is the place where you say, man, I wish I had accumulated more through here. And there were lots of opportunities for Fartcoin. Nobody wanted it at 20 cents. We'll never come back, man. This is crap. It's a has-been. It ran up and gave it all back. But, sometimes they get their second life. And clearly Fartcoin is. So we're looking at it coming up to about 80 cents, and there's our first target area right there, our fuzzy little cloud area. And we got right into our little fuzzy box there at 76. Haven't quite made it up to 83 there, but it's possible. So we're doing this rounding thing, and some people look at this as some kind of inverted head and shoulders, and then you can. It's got the rounded plush toy look to it. Like a little fuzzy spider on his back or something, or maybe a tick, I don't know. But this is cool. Bartcoin, I see her coming back to about 60 cents. She's at 70 cents now. 60 cents, somewhere in that area. 59.60 would be a good place to get in on it. Coming back for a retest. And then our next level that we would need to do, and this is a simple way to use the fibs to help guide you through the market, long term and everything. All you gotta do is fill a Fibonacci from the high to the low. And then you can find your little target areas, the best places just to take a little profit as your coin is going up. People always wonder when they should take profits, and this is one of the easiest and best, most reliable ways that I could recommend. On the bigger picture, zooming out on the daily, and especially any highs that we've made over the past year or 2 years. Taking those into consideration, and this one was back. This was just in January here. This is relatively a new coin, right? And there's a chance this one can go higher, and we might get up to $3 or something out of it. But remember, we've got, if the 4-year cycle plays out time frame wise, it's normally somewhere around close to holiday season this year. October, November, December, when we start seeing the what we're really looking for in this market. Hopefully it'll work out the same. We may be shifting right a little bit, and we'll probably start hearing about 2026. And I've been hearing about that for a while now from different reasons, but I'm keeping my eye open, but we've got to not get trapped, because it's too easy to get trapped. And therefore, something like this, taking profits along the way, it helps. It helps. I heard one person mention some ideas, and I guess there's little things that you need to do along the way too, and probably little helpful hints. And I like to talk about stuff like this, but I heard somebody else mention this, and I've done this before too, and it helps a lot too. Is that when you take profit, move it. If you do it in stablecoin or Bitcoin or however you're taking your profit, or taking your collateral. I hesitate to use the word profits all the time, but it could be interpreted. I don't know. It makes you wonder how tax people interpret that idea. But somebody, you take your collateral or whatever out and keep it in stable coin and put it on a different wallet, and that will help you keep from rolling it over again to some other things. Now, there's a time to roll things over, but you'll usually find if you got. I find that if I got money sitting there wants to burn a hole in my pocket, I want to find the next little thing to get into. And what we fail to consider there is that, well, the coin was up and you took profits probably at a decent place, and you're going to roll, and maybe it's time for that one to roll over, or for the market to kind of cool off too, and maybe you're rolling into another coin which is also, maybe it goes up a little bit more, but then it starts rolling over too, and then you're giving up that gain, rolling it over too quickly. Because if the whole market is going up, most likely all those coins are going up. So if the market starts going down, most likely most of those coins will go down too. But it's easy, especially if you're not been in this market for a while, to not see that, and even if you have been in the market a while, to ignore that. So those are some ideas I think it's worth talking about. Bartcoin looks interesting. Let's also take a look at Doge real quick, if you don't mind. Doge, what are you doing, Doge? You got you down here all fibbed out. Can't even read you. Double bottom. I see that happening. Are we on COINEX? No, this is Binance. Oh, this might have been one I was working on. That was old. Well, you can still use your top. Pull you down here. Let's take some of this stuff off. We got a blue line. Let me zoom out and see what we got. Oh, we got a lot of stuff going on here. I don't. All right, here on the daily for Doge. Nice. I like looking on the bigger charts. I do. They tell you a lot more. It seems it holds a lot more weight on the bigger charts. You're more likely to see these levels hold, in my personal opinion, like these moving averages hold, and then on the smaller time frames, they're a little bit more flexible. These guys seem to hold it better. Let's draw a line here from candle bodies to candle bodies and look at that angle. I want to come down and see if I see any divergence here, especially on the RSI. This is the main one that I look for. Now, you can find it on the MACD and some other indicators, but finding it on the RSI seems to be the most reliable. Sometimes I've seen it happen on MACD though, and it would take, and you would get a reaction, but it wouldn't be on the RSI or some other indicators. And then a lot of times I've seen where MACD just didn't do anything at all. I like to look at it on the RSI for any divergence. And what I'm doing is see how that's going to the upside. See how it's making a slant up and to the right. Price action on the bottoms is making a slant down and down and to the right. So we got divergence, and that is the old bullish kind there. If I get my old graphic, which is kind of crappy now that I think about it. I thought I had a cool way to remember it, but it helps me. So this little guy is going down like this, and then the indicator from the bottom is going up like this, and that gives us the, if we're looking at it on the bullish side with the bow tie up there, that's just the left part of a bow tie. That's the bullish kind. If we're measuring from underneath, we use the right side of that little guy. Let me take him off, or else I'll leave him up there. I think I'll probably just get into standard chart. I think that's probably easier to explain. So Doge, we're getting a little bounce there. Bullish divergence here on the daily. It looks pretty good. So some of these altcoins didn't exactly follow Bitcoin as strongly, but they're starting to turn around here. That looks kind of cool. Weekly looks kind of interesting. I'm looking at the indicators here. MACD looks like she's cool. 100 Doge looks good. I ain't gonna lie, if you're a bottom feeder like I am, you'd be saying, I might want to start adding me some Doge. I don't know if she'll get back down to these 13. She might over the next few days. We don't know what's going to happen. She might come down here in range. That's true, but it's looking good. And right now, short term, she's looking like she's trying to do something there. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do short term, baby? She's trying to make her higher highs and higher lows, but like Bitcoin, she's not really got past those areas yet. That's going to be tricky. If I had to guess, I would say we would probably fail our first attempt, and we'll probably come back down. May end up making, as crazy as this sounds, we don't know for sure, but we could get the quadruple tit. We could get Betsy the milk cow right here, where we got a set of danglers here and another set of danglers over here. We could get a double, quadruple bottom. Sometimes they repeat, or maybe not. That's just an idea. It's all just speculation at this point. The only thing we know for sure is that we do have a trend line that so far we're above it. If we can hold it, that's even better. Even if we want to ride the leg down a little bit, that would be okay. Maybe that's what we do. I could see that. You could be the old leg rider and kind of do something down here and then come up. That would suck to get in a trade right now if that happened. You fucker, dog, I bought it and it went down, man. But our moving averages here, 15 minute, 800, 600, how we lost that, they're rolling over. So we've been coming down talking 360 and 200, my personal opinion. That'd be breaking back into the trend line, so that makes me kind of wonder, what the hell, Doge? And that's where, smaller time frames, I just like to draw a trend line. Let's look at our possibilities. Where could we come down to? 14.3, maybe? That's kind of steep. That's a little deeper than what we want to, but it could happen. Sometimes I draw out a fib, give me an idea. Start looking at this 0.5, 618 area, about 15 cents, 14.7. That deepest retracement would be if we go a little bit more bearish this week, and that would be a 786 retracement. That would be in line with this. That might happen on Sunday night, okay? That we might see something like that on Sunday night because they love to scare the bejesus out of us on Sunday night. Remember, they'll run us up. I don't know what tomorrow, Friday will look like, but Saturday, probably during the weekend, we'll get bullish with retail, and probably Sunday they'll drop it, or Monday they'll drop it. I don't know. They flip the game on us on weekends, so don't chase. You need to be selling on the weekends. If you get a chance and it runs up, be a selling and taking profits. Don't be a chasing on the weekends because they will take it down. Another strong one to look at, I believe, is CoINEX and Binance. All these coins are doing the same thing, man. They're doing the same thing. Nothing. They're following Bitcoin. They are mimicking Bitcoin. So technically, you got to break out on all these little guys. Let's just go to 4 hour. We'll start projecting here into the weekend. Let's see. Let's get some new info here.
Taking flight.
SWE, you know, $1.52 is still on the table. She's got some good signs with that 360, but she's below that. It makes me think we can still get down here. We draw a trend line. I'm going to cut through there even. Shoot. Let me take it from the wick to the most touch it, or even here. It kind of points to the possibility it could come down there at some point. Elliot, what kind of inside do you have here? C wave. Elliot sees 171. Is that where you've been? We're at what, 215? So Elliot sees some more downside too here, possibly. So that's the daily chart. What are you looking like on the 4 hour here, sweet? And here we go, 4 hour. 4 hour has been really good with its bigger moving averages for warning for the grab is going to get worse, because we've been watching that for a while. Looks like she's trying to round through here a little bit. And sometimes they will do that after they go up on those big accumulations, and then, you know, they gotta come back and reaccumulate. This is when I start relying a little bit more on the fib areas. So my personal opinion, I think through here, I think this would be the area that we'll probably see it kind of round out until she decides to do something. So accumulation, people probably trying to accumulate as close as they can around the $1.50 area, or cheaper if they get it. That's what I see for swing. But you're saying we want to go up. I think some of them will, but it doesn't look like SWE's got the gas to do it just yet, according to these guys. We can go, I mean, maybe go up to 80. Okay. Well, that's not bad considering, but I mean, she's not ready to rocket ship out or anything. This coin called Grass has, that one's been an interesting one. That one's been an interesting one to be good. She got way up here around $3 or something, and I missed it because, yeah, there's got to be a better chart than that. There's not. Okay. I guess we'll go with this one. MXC. So he started November. Is that when it was? So this is a deep end play, and I think AI too. I forgot what all. And she's been down to her 886, and that was a juicy place to get her when she fell back beneath $1. And the low dollar areas for both of these little doubles. See, here's Bessie's cow, the teat that we were talking about earlier, that I think that Bitcoin could, you know, we might see this kind of scenario. We did a double bottom here, but we came back and we did another one. See how that works? She went up kind of high before she did it, so make a note of that. Okay, that can happen. And in essence, it's really just us trying to make a bigger, you know, if we finally get back up here, we made just a humongous teat. Is that a pasty? That's a pasty. It looks like Grandpa Sal right there. That's a pig, in case you don't know, a female pig. Oink, oink. So that's cool. So we're stair stepping up. We're getting some rejection here or there, but just, I guess we could take the health of the market now. That was one way to see where we could come back and bounce from. So I'm pretty satisfied that maybe we got our, you know, we're kind of stable here. And once we do that, then we can pull the bigger picture. I'm going to go from this guy here. I said I'm going to go from this guy here all the way down here. And now we kind of measure swing high to swing low, tell me where price is going to go. Now we measure the health of the market. Okay, we're above our little discount zone. And now we start leaning up, climbing up the ladders. We already got rejected there the first time. How awesome is that? 618, yeah! and we made a higher low. So far so good. She's still a little janky by this thing, and she's got some stuff to work out. But I think this is kind of a decent one to keep on your radar. Oh, nice. Touch here, touch there. Big ass channel, partial decline area. That's what we want to see, a partial decline. I'm just doing this, taking it here. And she might be setting up for the breakout. And going back around 270 or maybe 326. Eventually, hopefully, the retest $4 there, or that area. And being $1.50 right now, not bad, not bad. Especially the lowest that she's been hanging around is just, about 20 cents lower. She's at a pretty decent area. Actually, she broke back into that area, didn't you? Did you break back? She's back in our discount area. Hopefully, it's just briefly, but that's kind of cool. Let me come back to the chat, guys, and see what's going on. See, I'm losing. I have to check my memory here. Hey, Mexix, you're not going to learn anything when you're pissed off. Uh-oh, who's pissed off? Strong sort, sweet. If I learned something from you too. Satan and his control over the keyboard. So, are we drinking? Are we drinking tonight? We just found out Grandpa is now addicted to Viagra. Nobody's taking it harder than Grandma. That's funny. That's funny. That was funny. I don't have a laugh track. That was funny.
All right. Yeah.
Justin Crypto says, house coin on Solana, fam. I don't have deck screener up. They got it on KuCoin, and that would be a big fat hell no. I mean, if you're in it, sell it, get out. That sounds like a request for exit liquidity when you're trying to pump a coin when it's already up. This is the worst time to buy this coin. That gets a big hell no from me. It's in a nice pattern, I'll give you that. The only people benefiting are the ones that got in when it was under a penny. Anybody getting in and out is just chasing the green candles. We all know how that ends up. Well, if you've been in this market for a while, this is when if you do that, you'll be coming back and with your ass handed to you. And I just tell it like it is. Parabolic. You don't ever buy a parabola. Not when she's up, baby. Don't do it. We saw what they do, right? We see it time and time again what they do. Every time they go up, and maybe she can come down and maybe get one more. She's about played out, to be honest with you. How do you know this, Road Dog? The magic of the fibs. The magic of the fibs. She's hit her top levels, baby. She's done. Worst time to buy short. It's time to short it. I'll agree with short. It is time. Justin Crypto, you found a good short right here. It's time to sell the hell out of house coin. Well, that's what to be looking for. She's got some strong things. She will be coming back for a correction. Now, when she might actually have one more. It depends on what Bitcoin in the market does, right? There might possibly one. Sometimes you're lucky and you can get 5 stages out of these little guys, but I have not seen one yet to do that. It's doubtful that this one will be the first one. If you were playing this one for real, the sign that you would look for is your trend lines. When these little guys break, that's your exit. If it comes down here around 0.014, it's close to there now. I mean, really getting down here. You might take one, but what would be the payoff? Because you're buying the top. Maybe 30-40%. You might find a better opportunity though. However, if she does go up here, and I don't think she will, based on my fibs here. I'm not trying to hate on this coin, but I've got to be truthful with my audience. And you know, there are some people that do come on shows to steal a coin for exit liquidity, and I've already made it a point that I'm always going to call that out if it ever happens here, or if it ever goes on. And this is, you know, it would look something like this, to be honest with you. I'm not saying that she's ready to dump now, but it's best to say, man, hey, here's a good setup on it. It looks like he's getting ready to break out, then to come out when she's already hit her targets, because this one entices new people and they'll end up holding a bag. She is at areas to get rejected, and then when she does, we can figure out what her next move would be, if she's got one in her. Because eventually what's going to happen, we're on the 5 minute. What's going to happen between now and the weekend, between now and probably the next 2 days, is that she's going to top out, and then she's going to be right back down here, or lower, or lower. And anybody that comes, I want to put $100 in. Where's my thing at? Why are you not working? Even if I mean, would you want to list 40%? That's where, from the area that we're at now, if we went up higher and you got in, so I bought the flag to this upside, and then you lose 60%, $100 turns into about, you know, 40, 43. That would suck. So there's some sides, but it's risky. It is high risky, and there's better setups out there. But now, as far as putting it on your radar, if she comes back down to an area, well, you might have something, because she does seem to be wanting to do something in strong trend, like a lot of the coins are. And I would draw this trend line and try to buy as close to it as I can. I see a penny. That's about a 45% haircut from where it is right now. Bobby Eyes says, would you take a look at Jupiter? It's in the ditch, poor thing. Justin Crypto says, I need to learn more about fibs. Hang out at the channel. I go over fibs all the time. I think you're in one of those groups where why are they not teaching you about fibs? Now, there is somebody in one of those groups, I think, that does know. What, friend? I think he knows about fibs. And what were we requesting? We're trying to see. Dusty Hunt says, good night all. Stop loss and profit on short Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin do? Did she do something? Did you go back up or something? Stop loss. Oh. Let's see. Where am I in? I got a squirrel. 82.6 is my average. And I was trying to short here. I was trying to short, and I kept getting, I didn't feel comfortable with it. It's hard to feel comfortable in this. I felt uncomfortable as hell, but I thought, I'm going to do this time because I trust my fibs. I trust my fibs, and it's just hard to let it play out. So my average, and I had some more orders up here, but it never came back up here to fill. I thought she might come back up and do a retest, and I'd fill some orders, but I wasn't going to chase it, and I haven't. I just got a 10x, and I'm up about 11% from there. So got my stops set and whatever. All right, so we had a request before. I was going somewhere and then I got lost. Strega says, I'm taking profits to get more rep. I might have to look at that one. It sounds like you found a nice little trader coin, Strega, and that's in this market. You can chase whatever's pumping. Or I think it's a smarter move if you just get familiar with the coin that you like and wouldn't mind being stuck with the bag of it, but you find one that you like, got good things about it, good purpose, good community, and you trade it, and you get to know its personality, and hopefully it's one that will have a movement. But I think it can, like a lot of people just like to trade XRP. You know, get used to doing one, and I think you can be more profitable that way than just trying to, you know, sort through and find a coin that's trying to pop off and jump in and jump out. That's kind of what the trading group that I was in kind of led us to do, and that can lead you to having lots of bags of this and that. And okay, maybe you did the moon bag strategy, and then you got all these little tiny moon bags around, and it just gets crazy. Jupiter, that was it, Jupiter. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Squirrel. Normally we would go to the news, but Layer GG has not been posting yet. He's been taking a sabbatical. We're on Jupiter on the mini time frame there. This is Jupiter when we zoom in, and she's at all new lows. She's never been this low before. I don't know what's going on with Jupiter. I thought the exchange was pretty cool and everything, but I still do. But I guess with all the Solana stuff that went out, I got this, I didn't draw a line. Oh, look, we got it. 31 cents. We had that little guy right there. I just didn't draw the line. Look, do we have that little thing? I thought we had a little thing for that. We don't. No? I guess not. Anyway. The power of the fibs. It's the power of the fibs, ladies and gentlemen. That was a deep fib. That was a deep fib. And let's just clear off all this schematical bullcrap. See how weird this stuff. This is why I never wanted to learn TA, because I was like, that looks like rocket science. It's not. It's just an art project that went wrong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a little checkup on this little guy. I'm going to go from way down here. Oh, shakalaka boom, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Y'all want to learn something? Do you see this where we came up to the 618? That's going to give me two options. I'm going to look for the 1272, and I'm going to look for the mostly the 1382, possibly the 1414. That little area right there. Snapped it. That little guy right here. Nailed it. And as odd as it is, it did not respect my 1272, so automatically I'm looking for you to be, as crazy as it sounds, I think she's going to have a hiccup right there on the way up. But now that I've done that, I'm satisfied that we probably do have a little bit of a bottom, or we do have a bottom, and we're on the daily time frame. Jupiter's been a disappointment for me. I thought she'd do a lot better than 31 cents. I mean, I knew she could get under $1, and I thought 80, 75 cents, something like that was a good place to do it. Didn't expect her to go down to 31, or at least, I didn't, when she's doing all this, that was the furthest thing from our mind, inverted head and shoulders to the upside. But see this parabolic move, so when things go up, what do? They come down, right? This one even came down more. That would suck. So whatever that other coin was that we were looking at, the parabolic move, top fib levels, look at this. Boom. This is just like the other one. Your next stop, I hope it's better than Jupiter. All right. So we got this idea, and then so we need to see 53 cents again. And that's going to be my next goal for you, Jupiters. Come up and touch 53 cents. And until you do, naughty, naughty. But I'm curious. I'm curious what this will do. Because other than that just being the fib level, there's nothing here saying that we should stumble on there, but I'm willing to bet that we do. And let's test it out. I want to know. And that's at 41. What? 1.113. Can you guys hear that when that goes off? Because I can hear it. And that's kind of cool. So I will know that Haven just sent I think, super chat. I'll leave this guy right there. Haven says, Crow Road Dog is very important to me. I own much of it and buying more. She should be at a pretty decent price. Now, the altcoins are taking their time bouncing back, it seems like, but they're trying. They're starting to. We'll take a look at Crow next here. So Jupiter, I see good things. 42 cents. I'd love to see her get past 42 again. But technically, anything below 53 should be a decent place to accumulate. And we may bottom. We may have to make a bottom formation here. May have to zigzag like we do over here, like we did over here. Might have to do something like that. It would be cool if we did a repeat of something like this. That would be awesome. Don't know what it's going to do, but she's not just going to rocket ship up. She's going to have to do something down here. We got a little time to build up a little bag. That is one thing that is good. It's just like starting all over back in 2023 or 2022 with altcoins, because this time last year it's like, oh man, we're all buying the tops and adding to the bags at the tops, and now they're about 90% down from there. It's crazy. Let's take a look at Crow. I haven't looked at this one in a minute. How long have we been going? Hour 20? Let's get these guys off of here. Are they still good? Everything's still good there. Just can't see what's going on. Let me draw this line. You can draw this one as a horizontal line all the way across the screen, so I don't get it tripped up with something else. I color code my lines with my fibs so that I know when I go back to the charts what I'm looking at. And sometimes I might make them thicker if it's a bigger fib or something along the lines of that. But a horizontal like that I try to do for this little area that tells me, hey man, this could be the bottom area that you need to accumulate. And we were following this little guy with a lackluster breakout. Some people might extend it like that, and it is a lot more parallel with what we got going on here. So you can make an argument, man, we still haven't really broken down the channel. And I'll go with that argument. I'll actually leave that trend line like that. That's valid. We got a candle body touch over here, some wick touches there, and our candle body touches here. And it's parallel. In fact, I might actually just take that angle and use it right here. I'm going to ride with it. I thought my other angle was better, but still, we're good with an idea. And if we do get a breakout from this little guy, we just take the width of it, just go straight down. And wherever we break out, let's kind of assume here, could take us up to this area about 15.6 cents. Might want to put it there because we haven't broken out. I know it's a lot of the pattern traders out here, not a lot of them, but I see some every once in a while there. It's just they put a breakout before there's ever one there, and then they leave it and like, well, that pattern, that price point's going to hit or something like that. It kind of just, I don't. The way I learned this, you could do this and actually get targets, but what I see presented is that we just go chart to chart, drawing a flag to the upside with some target, and then we just go redraw that on a different time frame with it, and we just got all the, and whatever hits, and there's no big picture to it. There's no big plan to it, or maybe it's just how it comes across to me sometimes with them. But I got a line here that I didn't draw. I'm not going to count that. We'll figure it out when we get there. So we got this idea, and this is on the daily where it kind of counts. A lot of stuff to work through here. She's not ready to blast up yet, but she is at still a good place to keep adding to your bag. Cheaper now than what it was at 11 cents, so we may be making a bigger double bottom here. It's possible. That little red cloud or green cloud over here, unless we break through soon, can it happen? Oh, here, yeah, maybe. Oh, I didn't see that. This is important. Our 200 is about, okay, 200, 360, 600, 800. Those are in good order. Yeah, okay. I was starting to doubt whether we could actually get up here again, or whether we might just lackluster. But And it still may be a little lackluster. We still may not get past 11 cents for a few minutes. We might come back down. But yeah, it's looking a little bit more bullish than what I first thought. What I do like, this is what I look for, people. This is what I look for. Exactly right here. We go to a big ass time frame, just like this. And we know we're near a bottom, right? 6-7 cents was where she was, and we're at 8.6. We're on a trajectory. We got a solid trend line with all these candle body touches here. All these little wicks down there. We know she can come back down to 7.4. She probably won't again, but she did. Green cloud that we could still go back through. Sometimes that happens. The biggest thing giving me a positive go is the moving averages. The smaller ones still got some stuff they're working through, right? Can we show those? You just took them off. The bigger ones here, those are good. They're solid. So I don't see a problem coming back up to 11 cents just based on that alone. The smaller guys, which are these, now they're flip bearish. 200, 100, 50's way down here. But we're reclaiming that 50, and I like that. I like what I'm seeing here. So accumulating slowly. We got a nice little W pattern here, higher low, and we're testing the neckline area, trying to confirm above it. Hopefully it will. Fatter cloud here suggests that maybe we will. Looming death cross here on the 4 hour. I wouldn't sweat it. She could easily turn around. 100 above the 200 is good. I like that when I see that. That gives me hope that we can actually come up and talk to that 100 around 9.6 cents. So it does look like we're trying. We just got to clear this area. So the official thing on the W pattern is to get past the neckline, and we're not quite there yet. There's a little bit of wiggle room there, and we're right on it. And maybe we're doing it, probably are on a smaller time frame. Probably go to the 15 minutes. She probably looks pretty awesome. I don't know, you got some wicks there. What would that look like? That trend line looks awesome for support, but if we go by our rules here, it's still kind of the same thing. We're still just right there on the cusp of it. Candle bodies there. That would be a possible Adam and Eve that's trying to confirm here. And that's cool. They're a pretty decent double bottom pattern, and takes us the width of that, which kind of puts us back up here in this area about 10 cents. Connect these guys here, and you'll see a level of resistance also about 10 cents. So she's got the work to do. Draw a few other trend lines here, and they're also, oh well, that's probably not a problem considering we probably don't have to worry about that little guy. Horizontal levels, you can check out some of those. And you got this little guy here. From this area over here, and the wick areas, and then right through here, and that's coming in at 9.8. There's lots of different ways that you can figure out resistance areas. Trend lines alone, you don't have to have all the fancy tools and stuff. It's amazing what you can figure out with trend lines and do with them. I keep getting about 9.5 cents to where we're headed to, and then we'll have to figure out what's going to happen there. Bigger time frames, I like it. It's just gonna a little shaky, but yeah, we can start working our way out. I don't think we'll get past 13 anytime real soon, though. We'll have to work for that. It does look like a double bottom scenario to me, which are good. You know, we got one cheek, and then maybe we work for a little shorter cheek. I don't know if she goes sideways or if she just comes up and then, you know, does something else like that. You know, we'll have to see. But this is the juicy area to buy it. We want to buy lots of crow around under a dime. Oh my God! We just messed up a Trump voice. Wasn't even trying to do Trump, but it just started. It wasn't even Trump, so whatever. That's a little wishful thinking right there. Let's see what we got here. Well, that's a little pessimistic. We'll just keep tweaking it until we find one that works and say, there it is. Actually, I mean, in a way, kind of. It's not wrong to do that. It's not bad to do that. I learned a lot from doing that. It'll open your eyes to things that you might not see. Now I think we actually do have an angle. And I want to leave that little guy on there. I think it could still help us figure out resistance in the future. Bobby S says, haven't checked out in Jupiter Vote. How's Bitcoin looking on the monthly? Any chance? Wow. It's a lot of variables to that. We want to take a look at the futures and use the Christmas tree candles. We're actually pretty... Let me get my line. What is that? Is that a line? Can't do it in their chart. Don't have a line. Can I get one without a line? Can I get a blank one? Ah, nope. Here's one. I don't think I'm doing anything here, right? I really don't have anything going on here. Let's clear it all out. Well, they're locked. Why are you locked? Okay, so here we're on the monthly. Let's get rid of this guy. The green line is our 9 moving average, and that's pretty cool. We got an indecision doji. We still have 20 days to go. There's a lot that could happen. It could flip green. It could come all the way back down here to these areas. There's a lot that could happen, but the fact that we're hanging around that 9 moving average area, which is 81,517, we're above it. As long as we're above it, we're good. So right now, things look pretty good on the monthly. So that monthly level of 81,005, that's kind of important level that we need to work on trying to keep. And if we go back to our, but here's one I'm kind of interested in. This is the micro Bitcoin futures, and let's see, that area is 81.9 there. They're a little bit different with their moving averages, but it still looks good there. We're at, are you not, you're live right now, right? 82. Why are you higher? Did they close? Are they not? No, they're still trading. Here we are. Right? Something's wrong here. No, that should be right. Okay, they're higher than we are right now. That's interesting. They're $82,080 on MBT1 micro Bitcoin futures. Why are you guys more bullish? There's a theory that you want to watch the futures charts, like especially like this one, on commodities like Bitcoin, to kind of help you navigate. And if they're above, that's a little bit more bullish. I'm concerned because I got a short going on, and I like my short idea because there is this possible, and it's kind of weird, but it looks like a complex head and shoulder pattern, similar to one, or maybe just a head and shoulders pattern. Anyway, it's a toppy top pattern. We lost a neckline, and I see it's going back up to 82.3. Where did this? When did I draw that line? Yeah, we just came there. I already had the line. Maybe I looked at it. Well, I haven't looked at it in the last few minutes though. Where did the line come from? Was I playing those? I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if that's the power trend lines playing out or not, because we haven't looked at that one, unless I'm losing my mind here. This is where I needed one. All right, guys, what time is it? Is it midnight? And I've been going for an hour and 30 minutes, and that's probably long enough. Let me come back to the chat here. I've been looking at it on the following you guys over here on my little tablet. I just haven't been posting it up here. Strong sort. Okay, so Joe's getting ready to go live. And oh, thank you. I didn't see that. I mean, I saw that, but I didn't see the amount. Thank you for the super chat, Hayden. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. I don't love the liquidations, but the liquidations love me, says Strega. Strega, you said something about rep, and I meant to do that last night, and I forgot. Let's take a look at that one real quick before we leave. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know, I could see the appeal for a range trader person trading this. I really could. This is on the daily. Let's get the range tool out. For the longest time, I made a video about this coin. I got it from Tokenmetrics. And I'm willing to bet, excuse me for blinding you, I'm willing to bet if it ever does anything, it loads here, that they probably still got some good things to say about it. Notice over here we got strong sell indicators, and also I did have our, is it not there? Our fear and greed were actually kind of moving a little warmer today. I know that says strong sell here, but the fear and greed is actually looking a little bit better. But at one time, Tokenmetrics, you know, they had rep, and it's not, why are you not working for me, as a possible 100x coin. So I used to make videos, and I made one about rep, and it was a play, and I played it, and it made money. But there was something gnawing at me about this coin. When I was looking at GitHub, they haven't done anything when I was doing my research on it. And it turned out it's just, you know, there's really nothing to it. It's like a dead casino. There's nothing happening over there. So, but it still gets traded and everything. And maybe this is why. But we take this little, you're not going to work on this one because you fixed volume and you don't have volume. That's right. Okay, hey, let's go find you one. Kraken. We're going to Kraken. Oh, she doesn't look as busy over here. Okay. Well, maybe I'll take that back. What would it be in the range? 50 to, yeah, that's a decent range to play with. But how many times can you take profit? Not a whole lot. There are some good plays. There are some good plays in there. Not exactly what I expected. But she can pump up. And here she went up to $2. When was that? That was January? Just a weird freak of the day. Just decided to go up there. And so in theory, I mean, if you play these guys, you know, you can set up some fib levels. Now, especially now that you got this little guy. And the same rule applies, you know, accumulate through here. And it closes as close as you can get to the average price around what, 60. So if you try to get in the low 60s, and then you can set some limit orders, and no telling when, if, or whatever. But you just set the little guys and wait for them to get hit on your exchange. And she looks like she's making higher highs, or making higher lows, and slowly making some higher highs. So, you know, not. I think this was the play we were looking. That's back in, yeah, this was it, wasn't it? Back in August, she was the bullish divergence, and I think I was out before that. I think I was out here. She went from like 40 cents to $1 something. But she's still on a bigger trajectory. Kind of takes us. She might even wick up to 232 at some point. Oh well, just my thoughts. Bitcoin is at $81,702. And this has been the most dull short that I've ever been in, and it's only fun until they come down here and you're down here and it's like, oh, we shorted from the top, and it's hard as hell to do. It really is. It's nothing like being in the long when it started doing this. That was exciting. The short is kind of like, I hope this plays out. I have my doubts. There's a formation that says, yeah, we should, but there's also some things saying, hey, man, we might just bounce here and have a nice day tomorrow. And that would suck for my short, but that'd be great for everything else in my wallet. I ain't gonna bitch. I like what I'm seeing down here. These moving averages. We're getting a crossing over here. We're getting the flippening happening. And probably by a few hours, that whole flipping will happen. Then we might get a drop down. I'm expecting a drop down, but it's starting to look smaller and smaller. The measured move from this pattern, I guess that's the first target we could look at. Where you guys are still here. Suggest that we come down to this area by 80,500, right where we got our trend line. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go check out Joe after I wind this down, but thanks for being here. 25 people hanging out. I appreciate you all. Make sure that, and we'll catch up with the chats here over in the end screen, but thanks for hanging out, guys. Good luck in the markets. It's still looking rather juicy today. Dropping a little bit over this past hour, have we? A little bit, not too much. When they drop, you might find a play to get in. Long or short, we got some volatility coming in the market, and it's trading season, I think. That'll be fun. Bring out the trader in us. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. See you tomorrow. I do too, Stringer. We all do. And I'll do it again. And so, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I will too. I've made a lot of mistakes this cycle. I look back on all the mistakes I made on all the cycles and just try to keep getting better. Altcoins have really bit me this cycle. I wasn't expecting them to do that so bad. Some of the things that worked last cycle are not working this cycle. Some of the things that worked 2 cycles ago aren't really playing off as well this cycle. So we all make some mistakes. Yeah, it's never fun to be rug pulled. My first rug pull, and really only other than a few little meme coins, but my first rug pull that I was actually, trying to play a coin was one called Silk Coin, and she just took the market by storm. Looked like the best little thing ever. And it was a rug pull back in the day. It was interesting. The community banded together and took control of the project, but it still never amounted to anything. They made some improvements. They were trying to make it like Ethereum. And I didn't understand any of that crap back then. I was like, oh, I don't know. It looks cool. I see it's an ecosystem and it looks sustainable, but I don't understand what you're doing. There's Reese John. How's it going? Do I think it's coming? XRP is coming down. I think, let's take a look at the actual chart. She does appear to be coming down. At least on the small time frame. I'm on a very small time frame right here. And, I can see her coming back possibly down to 188 in that area. Between 186 and 190, I can see that happening fib-wise and also trend line-wise as a retest. And just dependent on the market and how we do, yeah, I would say probably somewhere, I would look around 188 in that area, 186 to 190. From there, it could get kind of interesting, and we might actually start seeing above $2 again. Bye guys. Thank you, Strega, my OG. Good new marshmallow. Strong short, so hope your short works out. So hope mine does too. Gas fees, flicker, whales dance in the haze. I'm stacking dreams in this digital maze. All right, I'm going to wind down and then I'll go lurk over at Joe's. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See if I can get the dog to wave. Good night, John boy. That used to be a thing here.